Hello and welcome to another BIS Special Report. I'm Diana Swan. Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, the Honorable Myles LaRoda, made an official visit to the island communities of Acklins, Crooked Island, and Long Key. The visit was an extension of the ministry's Let's Discuss Our Family Island Affairs tour, designed to inform residents across the Bahamas of the critical role the ministry and its various departments play in the country's social development. Among the many highlights of the visit were the presentation of a wheelchair to a 96-year-old resident of Snug Corner that fulfilled a promise made by Governor General, Her Excellency the Most Honorable Dame Cynthia Pratt, and additional assistive devices to other residents on island, visits to the elderly, and school children of all ages. Matt Mora has more.
Minister LaRoda said a key focus of the Let's Discuss Our Family Island Affairs tour was to level the playing field for family island communities, no matter their location or how many people resided there, by providing them with the same access to government products and services as those persons in the more populated islands. Access and inclusion for all, he said, was a guiding principle of the country's founding fathers. Children, the elderly, persons with disabilities, and women are among a country's most vulnerable populations.
The founding fathers of this country had a position, and that is those who live even in the most desolate parts of the country should have access to the same things that Nassauvians do. Simple things, kids with glasses. A lot of these communities don't know that social services can exist. People needing wheelchairs, walkers, surgeries on your eyes, surgeries on your knees, surgeries on your hip. These are services that people in Nassau get all the time. But the islands of the southern Bahamas do not, one, have access to that information, and therefore they don't have access to those services.
Good morning, Ms. Williams.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Right.
I'm so happy to meet you.
Right, happy myself.
A cornerstone of the official visit was the presentation of assistive devices to a number of persons with disabilities, including the donation of a wheelchair to a 96-year-old resident of Snug Corner that fulfilled a promise made by Governor General, Her Excellency the Most Honorable Dame Cynthia A. Pratt, during a previous visit.
Ms. Williams,
Yeah,
you are ready to go.
thank you.
On behalf of the Governor General, but particular the Department of Social Services.
Thank you.
Part of our reason for being here in Acklins, Crooked Island, and Long Key is to familiarize the residents of these islands of the services that could be provided by the government. And so we find that the best way to do that is to come to you, come on your turf, to let you know that if you're in need of a wheelchair, if you need a walker, if you have a grandchild in need of glasses, that these are things that the government have been providing for years.
Yeah.
And so we want you to get the word out in these communities that being cooped up in your house because you're not mobile by a wheelchair should be the thing of the past.
Right.
And so apart from the wheelchair and putting your lift here, it makes you much more mobile.
Thank you.
And we would like to do this for as much citizens as we can in our country. At 96, you've done your part
That's right.
of nation building.
Additional gifts of walkers and walking canes, along with 2 laptops, one an assistive device that was installed with the Job Access with Speech or JAWS software, were among the presentations. JAWS is the world's most popular screen reader, developed for computer users whose vision loss prevents them from seeing screen content or navigating with a mouse. Officials of the Secretariat of the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities were also on island to register persons with disabilities as part of an ongoing national effort. Minister LaRoda spoke to the importance of the registration process.
Bahamas is a country of about 400,000 people. And reports are saying that 16%, not 15 now, 16% of the population have some form of disability. That means we should have 64,000 Bahamians who are disabled. But we have only around 2,000 people on our register. It means that if the government is giving out monies for disabilities and the council that deal with it. And they're only seeing 12, 15, 1,600 people. How do you expect the budget to be increased? Because we deal with numbers. And so it's in your own best interest, if you know that you have somebody in your community that is disabled, to have those individuals registered, because it makes a big difference on the budget.
Minister LaRoda said gone are the days when families kept their loved ones with disabilities hidden away.
Gone are the days for that. Because it's actually a crime to do that. You know, it's a crime to have your child, some of them who are adults in their 50s and 60s and never seen the light of day, because we as their loved ones, and I use that tongue in cheek, hide them away because we are ashamed of them. So these disabilities touch every community, every family, all of us in here. There's not one person in here could say that they don't have a member of their family that is disabled. And we owe it to those individuals to provide them with the tools for them to thrive.
The southern leg of the Let's Discuss Our Family Island Affairs tour will conclude in the islands of Mayaguana and Inagua. Minister LaRoda said it is his intention to, quote, touch every island in the Bahamas. For the BIS Special Report, I'm Matt Mora.
Meanwhile, officials from the Secretariat of the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities used the visit to not only advise residents of the types of assistance they may be able to access, but to also educate them on the various types of disabilities that exist. With an estimated 64,000 persons in country having some type of disability, but with fewer than 2,000 registered with the National Commission, officials reiterated the urgent need for registration. Townsley Roberts, Deputy Executive Secretary at the NCPD Secretariat, said the visit provided a better understanding of what some of the issues are and how best they may be resolved. Carissa Williamson reports.
A member of the Secretariat's inspection team, DES Roberts, said the assessments and ongoing registration process are part of the forward-thinking strategies of the Commission and its Secretariat. Global statistics from the World Health Organization indicate that 1 in every 6 persons worldwide currently live with a disability. Those numbers are expected to significantly increase over time due to the combination of the prevalence of non-communicable diseases and persons living longer, creating a greater need for expansion of the assessment, inspection, and registration process.
I think it was a successful trip because we got to see persons in their element and discuss their concerns. And we now have a better view of what the issues are and how we can help them. You know, many times we sit back in Nassau and we just assume or listen to stories, but we got it firsthand. And we actually went to many locations, we saw it ourselves. We see what the issues are. We went as far as Long Key, places where many people have never been before and don't think about. People there. And we can't, to us it doesn't matter the size of the population. We realize that many times the family islands are not included in that conversation. And many of their buildings, especially the public buildings, are the ones that are most inaccessible. Our job is to point out and show them where the issues are, and we will actually send reports and adjustment orders so those problems can be corrected.
With many family island communities, particularly the remote ones comprised of older populations, the ability to assess the social, environmental, and attitudinal conditions under which older persons with disabilities live, Mr. Roberts said, becomes even more critical. 46% of older persons, those aged 60 and over, currently live with some type of disability and are among the most adversely affected by attitudinal, environmental, and institutional barriers because of their age and disability.
Especially now, since we're looking at a more inclusive nation that includes everybody. We all have something to offer. So we need to ensure that they can be as active as possible, as independent as possible. Many elderly people travel to the family islands. They like the peaceful environment, the nature. And if you have issues from the airport, they can't maneuver around the airport. Imagine other places. They can't go on the beach if they wish. You know, there are ways for us to design the beach access that persons can use a wheelchair and roll right into the water. They even, they call them assistive devices that can help that. They have special features for that. So it's a holistic kind of view that will benefit us.
The Secretariat's mission is to bring attention to all types of disabilities, including those referred to as hidden or non-visible disabilities.
Including the ones they call neurodivergent, persons who may have intellectual disabilities, even such things as persons with what we call mental issues considered a disability. So we have those persons. We even have those temporary disabilities, like persons who are pregnant and may have difficulties in the third trimester. We have intellectual ones. We have a number of persons in this country with such disabilities as autism. It's something that is growing. And autism is a wide spectrum. Many times, elderly persons, they have such things as arthritis. And people may not think that's a disability, but it is.
DES Roberts reiterated the need for persons with disabilities and families of persons with disabilities to register their loved ones with the National Commission. He said a proper national register of the number of persons with disabilities and the types with which they live has numerous benefits, and it can lead to greater access and inclusion in planning and policy development, including products and services, emergency preparedness, and funding at the national and local level. For the BIS Special Report, I'm Carissa Williamson.
Another key component of the visit was to advise residents of the many functions of the Department of Gender and Family Affairs. Established in 2016, the department's role is to coordinate, advocate, and inform policy for and on behalf of men, women, boys and girls, and the family unit. Formerly the Women's Bureau, the department uses a comprehensive participatory approach that includes community engagement and outreach. Deputy Permanent Secretary Ms. Mavelyn Simonet heads the Department of Gender and Family Affairs.
So we've been in existence for 43 years, and the department is responsible for empowering women, men, boys, and the girls. Some of our empowerment programs or some of our initiatives would include women in leadership. Another one is gender-based violence. Some persons say violence against women, and they're sometimes used synonymously because more women are perpetrated against than men.
GBV is defined as any act of violence that results in or is likely to result in physical, sexual, or psychological harm or suffering. While women and girls are disproportionately impacted, gender-based violence can impact all individuals, regardless of age.
So we have come here to work with you, to call on you to do what you can to devise programs to address the issue of gender-based violence. It could be physical, it could be sexual, it could be psychological, it could be financial. You know, people could withhold money from you, right? Because they know they got it and you need it, they could withhold it, right? That's financial abuse. So whatever the form of violence, it needs to be addressed.
The Ministry of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting oversees a wide range of social services and programs aimed at supporting the country's most vulnerable populations through a myriad of departments, divisions, and/or units, totaling 18 in all. Some services include child protection, disability support, individual, family, and group counseling, health and wellness, financial support, family services programs, services for senior citizens, and disaster management, all designed to meet the needs of various communities across the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Additional services include a 24-hour crisis intervention hotline and oversight of programs such as the National Parenting Program, rehabilitative services for probationers, parolees, and inmates, and research and planning as it continues to push towards strengthening families and communities across the archipelago. This has been a BIS Special Report. On behalf of the team at BIS, I'm Diana Swan. Thanks for watching.